Thanks to the support as a channel member, Mr. Lee23 Hull. Well, yesterday we toppled North London. Today, come at me, Manchester. Hello and welcome to Club 5, part 21 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two more massive Champions League games. We are at home against Manchester United. We're at home against Manchester City. And since you were last with me, we have continued to be very good at football. As you can see, since that Arsenal game in the last episode, nothing but wins in both the league and the Champions League. The Serie A table looks like this, 11 points clear after 12 games, still unbeaten. I mean, we've won every single match. So, yeah, I guess that is a flavour of unbeaten. And we're sharing the goals around, so we don't have anybody who is joint top scorer either. But if you go a little bit further down on there, you can see we've got Lazrak, Bilger, Vlahovic. Interesting that Vlahovic is actually behind both Lazrak and Bilger for goals this season. I guess, to be fair, he's not starting every game anymore. He started 7 of our 12 matches. Whereas Lazrak and Bilger would have started a few more. Lazrak started 8. Bilger has probably started more than anybody. He's started 11 of the 12. And then in the Champions League, we're also looking pretty good. We're third in a bit of a sandwich of former clubs. Preston above us, Barcelona just below us, Spurs, just being very Spursy, down in 28th place. Bless their cotton socks. But it's Manchester United that we face first up today, and they are down in 11th currently, 7th in the Premier League. Got to feel like a team that would be capable of beating Manchester City, who we play in the second half of the episode. We're actually down in 11th place in the Premier League at the moment. Manchester is struggling. Preston, biggest team in the North, but not quite. Not Liverpool, biggest team in the Northwest, closely followed by Preston, who are behind Manchester United, but let's not get bogged down in the details. In fact, let's go and beat Manchester United to teach them a lesson. This is the team that we're sending into that game. We've got Benoit in goal. He is carrying a little bit of a knock. He has a bruised head. He didn't play in the last league game. We gave a debut to Maddison, but I think for Manchester United in the Premier League, Benoit has to play. We've then got Mendes, Valente, Sotalo, and Agostini at the back. Boatini behind Veloso dos Santos and Owning in midfield. Amgar is going to play on the left wing as we continue to try and turn him into an attacker. Bilger on the right, and then Vlahovic up front. Let's get this team submitted and hopefully continue this excellent run against Premier League opposition that we're on at the moment. Having beaten both Tottenham and Arsenal away from home and winning 12 from 12 domestically, you would think if there was ever going to be a time where we'd beat both Manchester teams in the same episode and really set ourselves up for a good run in this Champions League this year, you would think that time is now. But you know what football managers like. I've not turned the game on for a couple of days. I've been away at the Insomnia Festival, which I think if I've got my dates matched up right, you should be able to see my vlog from I-70 today over on my vlog channel. So you might want to go and check that out. I'm not actually streaming tonight, so it'll give you something to do this evening. The reason I'm not streaming is because, again, I've got to check what day this video comes out. Hold on, we're looking at the menu. This is Thursday, isn't it? So tonight I am in Turin right now in reality, because I'm going to be watching Juventus versus Sporting in the quarterfinal of the Europa League. Kills two birds with one stone. Obviously, I'm managing Juventus here on YouTube. I'm managing Sporting at the moment over on Twitch. So that's where I am and why I'm not streaming tonight. But I will be streaming again from Sunday night. But in the meantime, fill your boots with that vlog. See? Bit of cross promotion. Can we do a football goal, please? It's 0-0 at half time. Owning. Oh, I mean, was that a save? Did it hit the post? I'm not really sure what's gone on. We're peppering the Manchester United goal. Amgar now into the area. He has the shot that balloons up over the crossbar following the deflection, and we've got another corner. I feel like we're banging on the door here. We're getting ready to do a goal. It's going to be an in-swinging corner. Bilger to take, who has hit it, aimed at that far post where the goalkeeper has flapped at it. Veloso dos Santos couldn't get it under control quickly enough, and by the time he gets his shot away, it's a fairly tame one and straight into the hands of the Manchester United goalkeeper. As it stands, we are top of the Champions League, boys and girls. Obviously, we'd like to keep our 100% winning record in all competitions going, so just being top of the Champions League isn't enough. We do want to win this football match as well, and after this highlight, we're going to do some substitutions to try and move us a little bit closer towards that goal. Bilger doing some tracking back there, doesn't actually manage to get a hold of the ball, and Valente has had a very, I mean, was it a heavy, I was going to say a heavy touch. It's just a miss kick. He's tried to get it under control. I don't know if he's trying to play it back to Benoit, whether he's trying to play it across to Sotalo. I'm not really sure what Valente's doing here, but he's come across. Sotalo has that covered. Valente comes across, kind of takes it off Sotalo, but then doesn't know what to do with it. And it's a big error from Valente, and we've now got 20 minutes to try and rescue this match. Forget ideas of winning. We just don't want to lose now. Vlahovic has had a really poor game. We're going to stick Bilger up front. Why is Lazrak not on the bench past Kev? I can only assume he is suspended. I don't think he's injured. We're going to take Amgar off as well, as a Bosley can come on and make a rare appearance as well. And we are shuffling the attack around to try and drag us back into this game. This does demonstrate once again how annoyingly good the Premier League is in Football Manager, though. 7th place in the Premier League is beating, away from home, the dominant team at the top of Serie A. Although, to be fair, if you look at those match stats, we're losing massively against the run of play. We've just not been very efficient in front of goal today. And we've got 10 minutes to hopefully conjure up an equaliser from somewhere. We've made substitutions again. I'm going to demand more as soon as I can. And it has been an error from Valente that has directly led to Manchester United leading in this game. And Bilger trying to get in behind, but doesn't quite have the pace to go past the Manchester United defender. But Gratikos has intercepted. It's the ball over the top to Bilger on his left foot. He's squared that, but there's nobody there in the middle because he's the one playing as centre forward. It was like he was expecting someone to be there alongside him, and nobody was. And now owning in midfield, plays it forward to Veloso dos Santos. Taglioli to Bilger, who plays it into Gratikos. It's a very heavy touch from him, but he has poked it past the goalkeeper, but I think it's been disallowed. Offside, presumably. We're demanding more now. We are getting closer and closer. Look at the XG. Look at the match stats. I'm being robbed here, and I don't feel very good about it. And I said it at the start of the episode, and it has come true. Football Manager punishing me for having a couple of days without playing the game, because that's the first match we've lost in any competition in forever. And, I mean, it's troubling. It'll be fine. Let's go play some matches off camera. Hopefully we'll get back to winning ways in, and then it's Manchester City. We should still finish top 8 in the Champions League, but we do now need to beat Manchester City. Well, we've just about kept our 100% winning record going in Serie A. Relatively easy against Bologna and Lazio, but we did scrape past Lazio with a late goal from Amgar, and that leaves us 14 points clear, 15 wins from 15. I would love an invincible season. I've not done one for many, many years. 100% winning season? That might be asking a bit much, but an invincible season, definite possibility. Now let's go and beat Manchester City. Manchester City, 9th in the Premier League, still struggling. Pep Guardiola, still Manchester City manager. I say still. Pep Guardiola, Manchester City manager again. He left in 2023, became Spain. So he was fired by the looks of it because he became Spain manager the year later. Managed Spurs for a year, Bayer Leverkusen for a couple of years after being sacked by Spurs, was then England manager for 1 year, and has been back at Manchester City for the last 3 years, presumably on the verge of being sacked again with them down in mid-table. Absolute madness. This is the team that hopefully will seal his fate. Benoit now fully fit in goal. A back four of Amgar, Valente, Mansoret and Agostini. Firi at the base of the midfield with Boatini and Gervasio ahead of him. Lazrak, who is now fit again on the left. Bilger on the right. Vlahovic up front. Firi has been asking for starts, so we're giving him a start here. I mean, I think he probably is the best player we've got in this role as the deep line playmaker at the base of the midfield, the Locatelli role that we'd been using in the first couple of years at the club. I'm not completely sold on that being the way I want to play anymore, though. You can see today we've moved Boatini forward to be the box-to-box midfielder. I kind of like him further back, protecting the back four, and Firi, not yet natural playing central midfield. We kind of have to play this way around. Oh, of course, Manchester City have got Seco in goal, haven't they? They're the ones who stole Seco from me. So there's some interesting stuff going on here. Obviously, we've got Seco up against Benoit, who's the best goalkeeper of the two, probably Seco. And then Vlahovic and Haaland, who are the same age. Vlahovic, of course, has been Ballon d'Or winner the last 2 years and has really, really pushed on. And I reckon in his 30s, better than Haaland. But Haaland, multiple-time Ballon d'Or winner when they were both in their 20s, and Vlahovic was nowhere near. So Haaland obviously better when they were both younger. Vlahovic better now they're both older? Or is Vlahovic just playing in an easier league? Who knows? It's 0-0 half an hour in, which I guess means both the goalkeepers are winning and both the strikers less so at the moment. We're kind of cancelling each other out, playing very similar systems. And it is Manchester City just before half-time who are going to try and get the breakthrough. Ball out to this right-hand side. They've made it into the penalty area, making it look very easy to get past Agostini, which nobody has ever done before. And thankfully, we get the tackle in. It goes behind, and it is half-time. I would be very upset if we play both Manchester teams and don't even score a goal, considering the two North London teams we beat yesterday are both higher in the Premier League than either of the Manchester teams are. What have these Manchester teams got on me? Preston are top of the Champions League, by the way, I've just seen. If Preston win the Champions League without me, I think any plan we had of going back to Preston as the returning hero winning the Champions League is done, and we just have to accept Stephen Ferguson did Preston better than I did, and we'll just finish things off here at Juventus, and that'll be that for this. I'll be very sad if that's how it ends up happening. I do feel like the story is set up for me to return to Preston and be the guy who gets them over the finish line. They genuinely might do it without me. Now, they got to the Champions League final last year, and they're looking very solid this year. And Dusan Vlahovic has grabbed himself a goal. That puts him ahead of Haaland and Benoit ahead of Seko. So I'm double happy with that goal happening. Amgar, our left back, with some good work on the right wing. He played centre forward in the last game against Milan and scored. He can just play everywhere. It went into Gervasio, who hit the shot. It kind of bobbled around in the penalty area. When the ball's bobbling around in the penalty area, there's no one I want there more than Dusan Vlahovic. And he once again proves that in that situation, he is the best player in the world. Right, Lazrak is coming off. He's still recovering from an injury. Bilger hasn't been great at all today. Where's Ruiz? There he is. We're also going to take off Amgar, who is shattered. Mendes can come on for him. We're going to do 4 changes because Agostini is tired as well. We want all tired legs off the pitch. 20 minutes to go. We're 1-0 up. And Szoboszlai, I think he's done. He's had 2 or 3 injuries already this season. He has really been struggling. And he's back in, just forcing his way back into the team. He's been on the pitch a minute. And he's injured again. I think Szoboszlai might be done. He's 34 now, I think. And these injuries are just happening too often. And I think that might just be the last we ever see him, which is a shame because he has been great, but he's just not reliable injury-wise anymore. And we've just seen it again there. Seko collecting the ball comfortably and lumps it forward, looking for anybody in a Manchester City shirt, really. He doesn't find anybody, and it's Gervasio with the ball over the top to Gratakos, who brings it down beautifully, and it takes a massive deflection off of the Manchester City defender and ends up past Seko. I don't know how that can possibly be offside. There's no way Gratakos was offside, and he's not. It's being given. It's 2-0, and Seko is not going to be very pleased with what's just happened here. Gervasio over the top. It's a lovely first touch from Gratakos, and then it's a massive, massive deflection off of the Manchester City defender to make it 2-0. And we might have been a little bit upset with how things turned out against Manchester United, but against Manchester City, we have picked up a 2-0 win. We're level on points at the top of the Champions League table with Preston. What a weird sentence. I mean, look at that for it is Kev of a good football manager situation. Preston, Juventus, Barcelona is your top 3. It's, as usual, only Spurs letting the side down in 29th place. But we've built some good teams this year, boys and girls. And yeah, Szoboszlai has torn his hamstring. I think he's finished, which is a shame. A major injury at 34, he's just turned 34, but a major injury at 34 when he's already starting to become a little bit more injury prone. I thought he'd had more than 1 injury this season. Either way, he's done. He is done. And we now have to head into a January transfer window where we've got precisely £0 to spend. So I imagine it's going to be a relatively quiet one while we finish off our qualification for the Champions League, which... Have we officially finished top 8 yet? I don't think we have. We should get that signed off tomorrow, and then we're going to go and win the thing. I've decided we are going to win the thing. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos, and thank you very much for watching.